Hello and welcome back to Shining Force 2. Last time we finally finished escorting Peter to his hometown. We have reached the land of the Birdmen and where Volcanon lives, but we found that his hometown was under attack by the Devil Army. So it seems that even here in Parmesia, we can't escape from the threat of the devils. So in this episode, we are going to explore the town, meet the king, and find out a little more about the plot. So we already talked to some of these guys in the last episode. Let's see what we've got for weapons. Oh, here we go. This is nice. So some of the people who didn't get upgrades in the last episode do have them in this. And in particular, we finally got the melee weapon for the knight. Okay, so we're gonna have to sell some stuff in order to buy things here. Let's sell this antidote. You know, we've got Sarah's detox spell, so we can go without that. Have an upgrade for Jaha. It's funny how, like, there was one battle between, like, we went to Polka, where there were upgrades for Ben and the staff users. We fought one battle, and then we went here, where there's upgrades for everybody else. The upgrades are like, the pacing is much more rapid than I would expect. And we already have our first upgrade for May, who's only been in the party for a couple battles. In the first game, I did find this as well, where, like, the pace of upgrades was weirdly choppy in some ways. We're not going to equip it now just because the spear, you know, I'll have that until I need a melee weapon. Of the middle axe for Jaha. But in the first game, like, you know, you'd have periods where you're upgrading your weapons every town. And then there was one part where we didn't upgrade anything for like 2 chapters. So the pacing was a little choppy at times. And an iron arrow for May. Very nice. Okay, and with that, we are all upgraded. Everyone is kitted out in the very best weapons we can buy. We don't really need any of this. I never bought a lot of items in the last game either. Well, our inventory is really limited right now as well. Burp, I'm not afraid of devils as long as I drink a root beer first. I'm assuming that that was changed in the translation so that it was non-alcoholic, but it makes it really silly. The devils were almost annihilated before. Why did they attack Bedoe? The people downstairs said this too. Oh, this is plot. Creed is the last greater devil to survive the war, but he retired from the army and now lives alone in Devil's Tail. So evidently there was a previous war against the devils where they were badly defeated. And one of them, Creed, left all that behind and is now just living out here in the world in some place called Devil's Tail. So we're probably going to visit him later. And given how badly the devils were defeated in the last war and that they may not even have recovered yet, why don't drink and fly? That's amazing. Why did they attack again? What was their true goal? Because we could probably assume that it was not their, like, they didn't expect to be able to defeat Volcanon. They must have had something else in mind. I never let my hatchling go out. Then how will they learn to fly? The devils? I thought they were only an old legend. Well, our town apparently thought that too. Oh, the quick ring. That's the only item to find here. Now, before we decide who to give that to, we're going to want to look at everybody's agility. Who has the lowest? More agility for the healer would definitely be nice so we could, you know, heal more frequently. Jaha's really slow. Slade is surprisingly slow considering that he's the thief. Kiwi is slow, but he's already got the power ring and kind of needs that to stay competitive at all. Peter is really slow. Maybe I'll give Peter the quick ring. He's a little behind in level, so that's probably part of it, but that'll make it easier for him to catch up. Alright, Peter is getting the quick ring. Oh, he's already got it anyway. Okay, then we can just equip it. Alright, that brings him up. He's still not the fastest, but it helps a bit. I'm bored. I want to go out. How wonderful it would be to fly on such a beautiful day. Is that bird even, like, big enough to fly yet? We need a lot of hot water to treat these injured men. I've been standing here all day. It's all being made on this one stove? That would take a long time. We have a lot of weapons, but I don't want to use any of them. Then you're not going to be very successful as a soldier. Like, you have the best weapons in the game so far. Have you seen my dad? Mom won't tell me any... Huh. A little typo there. Instead of anything, it says any hitting, but they won't tell me anything about him. In a game this large, I guess we should expect a few typos, especially back in the day when quality control was not as high. Fight While Flying. That's a useful book. A magazine. Birdmen Today. I love that there's a magazine for them. Dad, no, come back. So I'm assuming the implication here is that their fathers were killed in the battle. My spouse was killed in the war. Or maybe even longer ago? My impression was that the war was quite a while ago if people thought devils were legends. I guess we don't really know how long the birdmen live. Kneel before King Bedoe. Just kidding. They're birds, so I imagine they don't kneel very often. Like, you know, birds don't really have, like, knees, right? Or I guess the joint is just in a different place higher in the body, so it wouldn't really work. Yes, the greater devil was very strong, but God Volcanon swept away all the devils. What about the greater devil? He fled. Can't you track him? We must capture him before he regains his strength. Did they come from Grans Island? Unfortunately, they may have. They probably all escaped from that, like, portal to the evil land that opened in the ancient tower. I think so. Maybe he died, but beware of an attack. Watch carefully. So the tragedy that happened on Grans Island is evidently spreading and affecting the rest of the world itself as well. Decorate your nest. That's a great... Wings and feathers. I love the bookshelves. Oh, I guess we can't leave until we see this cutscene. As you can see from the fact that this person has a portrait, they will eventually be a party member. Peter! Luke, how have you been? Also, their name is in all caps. When names are in all caps, they're generally party members. All the NPCs have camel case names, but, like, party members don't. I don't really know why. Okay, so I think we're gonna leave Bedoe and then come back, and there'll be something fairly important we have to do at that point. Checking my guide to make sure we don't miss a hidden thing. Luke, how have you been? If you remember, Peter, way back when he came to our town and met our king, he mentioned that Luke told him Volcanon was a god. Luke, how have you been? King Bedoe, you look well. Peter, my friend, how was your journey? Let me introduce my friend. Ben is the only one who's his friend. The rest of our party are not. This is Ben. He's from Grans, and... I know. He is a pupil, Astral of Grandseal. Dude, think how happy Sir Astral would be if he knew that he was famous enough that these guys knew about him. That would cheer him up so much, even though he couldn't come on this trip. How do you know that? Sir Astral told me. When did you meet him? What? Did you go to Grandseal? As Volcanon's messenger. Oh, well, this explains why Astral already knew about Volcanon and was so hyped to meet him. He had heard about him from these guys. And I heard that somebody unsealed Xeon. Oh, dude, I didn't realize this. This is an amazing story about me. So, remember how I said that I had written a fantasy, like a crappy fantasy novel as a kid where Metula and Volcanon were like gods of the fantasy world? There was a villain in that story called Xeon, and until I saw the name here, I had completely forgotten that's where I got it from. I was like, I wonder why did I call this guy Xeon? The name doesn't match any of the other names in the story. This is where I got it. Now that I remember, yeah, I think like a couple of the enemies in the villains in that story were all named after Shining Force enemies. And then there were also a handful that were designed after Fire Emblem villains, so just my love of video games just really influenced that story. I heard that somebody unsealed Xeon. Grans people caused a big problem. I mean, we didn't do it though. It was like that one devil that possessed the guy. Well, actually, I guess it was Slade, because he caused the tower to open, which allowed the devils to escape. Xeon might destroy the world. Sorry to interrupt, but is he that strong? Xeon is king of the devils. Peter, you had better go see Volcanon. It may calm him down to see Peter. Oh, is he angry? Maybe later. Peter, you gotta take one for the team here. Never mind, leader, he's been waiting for you. Oh yeah? Okay, I'm going. Ben, follow me. Peter, are you taking Ben with you? Of course, why not? Peter is a very casual and relaxed fellow, isn't he? I sort of, when he was like this when he met our king as well, and I was like, oh, that must be what people from his, like, homeland are like, but apparently it's just him. He's just a really chill guy. People of Grandseal are... King Bedoe, I think Ben has to see Volcanon. He should talk to him. He is the main character, after all. You're right. Peter, go ahead. Okay, anyway, let's go. But first, let's pop outside and take a peek around. Okay, so... I think the character we have to meet here is not going to be here until the next time we're in Bedoe. If God Volcanon doesn't calm down, Friends, you should not have made your homes in a volcano. Because they're just... This is exactly the problem here. Oh, so we must be, like, on top of the cliff. I like the music up here a lot, too. It, like, definitely has a, like, stately and mysterious feeling. This is a sacred area. Volcanon Shrine is here. The design with the pillars is nice, too. Devils? They can't enter the shrine. The music in this game in general, and in Shining Force in general, is quite good. Oh, I like the parallax scrolling in the background here. Looks very cool. I'm just gonna check my guide in real quick, because I'm like, is there really nothing hidden behind this shrine? Seems like there should be. But apparently not. The design on the shrine is really nice looking too. I like the tile set. I really like the style of Shining Force games, the music and visual art and visuals. This shrine was built on top of the mountain to watch over everything. Do you know the legend of the phoenix? Let's say no and hear it. A phoenix is the legendary bird can't be killed. It is life itself. When his first life is nearly over, he bursts into holy fire to finish it. The fire creates another life for the phoenix on the ground. On the ground. Interesting. So is that implying that when the phoenix is over, it becomes something else that's not a bird? The tile set in here looks cool. Also, this mountain does not appear to be a volcano, even though it's called Mount Volcano. Like, it appear to be a crater anywhere here. God Volcanon, I'm back. Oh, I like how there's a little broken egg in front of him, like something hatched out of it. Maybe Peter? Is he, like, created by Volcanon as his messenger? Also, the sprite work of that, like, I guess that's a statue. I don't know if that's literally him or like a statue he communicates through, but it looks really cool, I gotta say. This scene is very well done. Welcome back, Peter. You look well. Yes, I am. This trip was very interesting. I met these people in this new town who tried to beat me up as soon as they met me. Seriously, we're lucky Peter likes us. That's good. What made it interesting? I do wonder if the idea of that, like, egg thing in front of him is that Peter is, like, his creation, because he kind of is talking to Peter like Peter is his kid. I met a lot of people that live on the ground. They help each other. I made some friends. Wonderful. It must have been a good experience for you. Volcanon is very relaxed for a guy who's supposed to be so angry. I've brought a friend. This is Ben. He's from Grans Island. Maybe you shouldn't have led with that, Peter. Maybe you should have eased him into this. Grans Island. People of Grans Island caused a serious deadly problem for the world. Okay, but Volcanon, not all of them did, though. Some of them were innocent victims of this. Also, it was mostly caused by the devils. Volcanon? Seriously, like, all the random townspeople and stuff had nothing to do with all that crazy shit. They just, like, their homeland was destroyed for reasons they didn't even know. They awakened Zayon, the legendary devil. I've been protecting all the ground-dwelling people. I can't forgive them for this. Yeah, but we didn't even know you existed, buddy. Volcanon, please calm down. Ben is not the person who did it. However, the person who did it is traveling in my party. Everybody who lives on the ground is responsible. They have to solve this by themselves. What should Ben do? My protection ceases now. Volcanon, why are you being a dick about this? He must face the devils on his own. We were pretty much already doing that anyway. But even the greater devils are as strong as you. If all the humans are annihilated, that's okay. It's their destiny. Man, this guy is pretty pissed. To be fair, he thinks that we, like, deliberately opened the gateway to the evil world, which can destroy everything. You know, it was actually a complete accident because nobody knew that removing those jewels would open it. So really, I'm like, Volcanon, you should have, like, left, like, a note or something there that was like, by the way, do not remove. You know, like people put on whiteboards so that their stuff doesn't get erased. Do not remove. I want them to show me courage. They must reseal the devil again. And then please give some advice to Ben. Ben, believe in the power of the jewel. That advice is terrible. It belongs to both the light and the darkness. Well, I do have two of them. It shows its true power when the light and the darkness are as one. You know what this reminds me of? In the first game, the ultimate weapon that could hurt, like, the final boss, the Dark Dragon, the Chaos Breaker, it was made out of a fusion of the Sword of Light and the Sword of Darkness. So that kind of, the same theme appears to be happening here. You may go now. I don't want to see anybody until Zayan is defeated. His advice was garbage. He didn't tell us anything useful. Volcanon. Ben, we'll defeat that devil by ourselves. I didn't know he was such a cold-hearted god. I mean, you know, he appears to be a bird made of fire. You wouldn't really expect him to be cold-hearted. Okay, I'll help you. I'll go with you to reseal the devil. Peter the Phoenix has joined the force, so now Peter is an official party member. We may have to do some grinding to catch him up. I think he'll be fine, though. Okay, good. This shrine was built... Okay, so these guys don't say anything new. And Peter was born from holy fire. Volcanon is the highest of gods and can revive anything. Phoenix serve and work for him. They help the people. So he was probably created by Volcanon. I guess nobody is changing their dialogue in spite of... Nobody is like, what did you say to Volcanon to piss him off so much? I'm assuming there's a cutscene here, though, right? Volcanon was very angry, wasn't he? We can no longer depend on him. We must do it ourselves. Well, he wasn't angry at you guys. He was angry at ground dwellers. We can't calm down Volcanon. Without his protection, the people that live on the ground will perish. Only Tristan and Bedoe will survive. Tristan, I'm assuming we'll go there at some point. God Volcanon has forsaken the people of the earth. Are you going to kill Zayan as he demanded? Yes. I'm the hero, of course. You're a man of honor. Why don't you go see Creed? He's an ex-Greater Devil. He may give you some information. You must travel along the river to get to Creed's mansion. Maybe Polka has a raft for you. Tell the mayor to prepare a raft. So our new quest is to find a raft so that we can go find this Creed guy. Peter, please help Ben. Ben, good luck. So we're having the standard RPG progression here where we're going to get increasingly good vehicles. Something happened in North Parmesia. I saw a strange cloud. Was it one of these devils? Goddess Metula lives on the north side of Tristan through the mountains. The people living in Tristan are kind but weak. I wonder if they're all right. So I think, if my memory is correct, it's pretty vague. I think that the first time I played through this game, many years ago, I got up to the town of Tristan, and I don't think I'm not sure I ever got far enough to actually meet Metula. Maybe that far. I don't think I got anywhere past that. So now we have to go here and talk to this guy. I had a dream last night. I flew. Watch, I can fly. It turns out he cannot actually fly. Strange. That didn't work. Hee. Stay there. I know I can fly. Buddy, you cannot fly. Oh, maybe a little. Good job. See, I told you. I can fly. Sort of. Okay, so it was very important for us to see that, and now, we have to talk to everybody on the 3rd floor, and then when we leave town, we're going to wander around in the bushes outside and save the baby bird when he falls on us. And we have to do all of that stuff so that he'll become a party member later on. If you miss that at this point, he does not become a party member. So let's talk to everybody. My spouse, blah, blah, blah. Have you seen my dad, blah, blah, blah. I honestly don't know if you have to talk to everyone on the 3rd floor, but my guide says to do it, and I want to make sure we get this guy in the party. So, just in case, you know. Gotta be careful here. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay, did I get everybody? Okay. And then I'm just making sure. Okay, so now I think we just leave the town and we should be able to go have him fall on us, and that'll set us up to recruit him later. This is why I'm using a guide again, because it would be really easy to not find him, like to not end up going out onto that ledge after you see the king, especially if you've already been out on the ledge beforehand and saw there was nothing. And then knowing to do this like specific sequence of events. There we go. I had to find the right spot to trigger the cutscene. And again, it's like, it would be kind of hard to figure this out if you didn't already know. You might maybe by accident wander into that bush, but there's really no reason to go in that specific spot. And it is only that one spot, so you could pretty easily just walk right by this whole thing and not get the character and have no idea there was something here to get. It's a bit obscure. Anyway, so this bird parent is happily throwing their bird fledgling up in the air. Oh my, Screech! He landed right on us. This is great. Thank you, thank you. Screech is okay. And now we'll be able to get Screech as a party member later. So it's been about 20 minutes, so let's just go back to Polka and get that raft, and then we can save. I think that's the last. Oh, it looks like the Geralt the Wolf guy will join us after this. Oh, and there does seem to be a battle in Polka Village. I think it'll be fine though. We've got like 10 minutes, you know. Even if it runs a little over, that's fine. It doesn't have to be exactly half an hour. I've just been making a new effort to keep them about that length. Bedoe soldiers are cowards. Oh right, these birds were coming to check on them, and I guess there's kind of a... Oh, the monsters attacked. Good thing these guys were here. Be quiet. Apparently the bird soldiers are pretty shitty too. My comrades! You're our captive. Don't force me to kill you. No more funny business. You can't resist us. Now give me that injured boy. Oh, they're talking about the boy we saw earlier who was blinded. Don't listen to him. Party member. I'll help you fight against the devils and guard Odler. His name is apparently Odler, which his parents must not have loved him enough because they named him Odler. You! Oh, Ben, Peter. Luke, why are you here? I came here to get a raft for you. The people of Polka are being controlled by these devils. They deceived me. Oh yeah, we've seen, you know, back in Grants that the devils can control people, so that's, I guess they did that as well. Prince Luke, I'm sorry. Luke is a prince! Oh, I thought he was just like the king's guard or something, but apparently he's the prince of the bird people. Polkans will not fight. Please let me join you. Geralt the Wolfman, join the force. Actually, his name is probably supposed to be like Geralt or something, not Geralt. Probably Geralt. I have the same problem with the name Graham. The first time I saw it as a kid was actually in Shining Force Sword of Hasia. There's a character called that, but I had never heard anyone say that name out loud, so I thought it was pronounced Graham, which has a little more gravitas, frankly. Anyway, so this guy just joined our party. Don't forget me. We are actually going to forget him, though. You still dare to resist us? For that you shall die. And here we are fighting this battle. Okay, so let's check it out. So we've got a fairly expansive town map here, and it looks like we've got some new enemies. A zombie. Oh, this evil cloud, another one of those. Oh, and we've got the black monk, who's like the upgrade of the evil monk. They have more magic. And the master mage with Blaze 2. Lots of those evil archers also. Or the death archer, rather. And Luke has been wounded. Gotta save him. Alright, so let's set out. This is definitely almost certainly going to run long because this map is pretty big, so I think this will probably take more than 10 minutes. But it's fine. We can save after that. Oh, and let's meet our new friend. He's level 13, so he's in line with the party. He doesn't use a weapon, just like a Xylo from the first game, who's also Wolfman. And as you can see, he's got good attack, and he's pretty speedy. Pretty tanky, too. He's like Xylo. And this is the last guy who, when I looked through the list of recruitable characters, I had any memory of it. So I don't think I got a whole lot farther than this. But it's also possible that I just happen not to remember some of the later characters. Because to be fair, I didn't remember Peter either, and we already have him. Okay, let's check him out too. Here's our buddy. He hasn't got a level yet. But we can catch him up now. I assume that they put Peter, because the thing is, when he joined the party, he was about in line with everyone else, so I assume that's why they set his level that. Oh, also, I gotta say, the battle background here with the village background, it looks really nice. I like the sprite art there. But yeah, I assume they set him because of that, but I do wish they had bumped his level up a little, because it's honestly not that easy to get him a level while he's being AI controlled. So that would have helped him be a little closer to the rest of the party now. Man, those zombies hit really hard. That is the two-shot for a lot of our group. Oh, we're kind of bottlenecked by these stairs here too. Gotta get our guys into action. This is tricky. Okay, here we go. I am going to switch to his new weapon. It's got higher attack. We gotta take out this zombie. It did a ton of damage, and I'm guessing they can also inflict poison. Oh, excellent job, Chester. I gotta say, the sprite animation on the zombie is also really nice. Like, they definitely They didn't look nicely creepy. I would say it's superior to the first game, where the animations for the zombie were a little... Well, the map sprite was a little more goofy looking. It was just like a blue blob. Yeah, I would say that these look more like sort of classic movie zombies, and the ones in the first game looked more like Zelda Re-Dead, so I guess it's just a matter of taste. I do like it, though. The Hobgoblin sprite is also nice. It just looks like hilarious how it's super tiny but has this giant axe. So let's try out our new friend, see what he's like. He honestly looks extremely silly, and apparently he attacks by punching. Well, he did mention that, like, living in this peaceful place had, like, reduced the Beastmen's power or whatever, so he's more like just a hairy dude. But, in the first game, Xylo was literally a wolf man and attacked by, like, slashing things with his claws, so this guy is a little bit of a letdown. I think when he promotes, he turns into, like, an actual wolf man or something. But for now, I'm just like, why not just use a sword, dude? You're just a regular person who punches people. It's not quite as impressive as our werewolf buddy from the first game. This battle, I think, is also going to be a little slow just because the map is fairly large and it's just going to take us a while to get to the enemies. Like, they're pretty far away and they don't seem interested in coming over. Which, it's not like which is good also. You don't want all the enemies to just rush towards you because then you don't make use of the whole map, so it's sort of pointless. And also, it just overwhelms you. But, there is going to be some walking involved. We can be a little more risky with Peter, because if he dies, he'll just come back, so it's not like, he's wasting my money. Although we've got boatloads of money right now, so we don't have to worry too much. Alrighty. Yeah, sorry, there's not a ton to say about this battle right now. We're kind of just getting into the battle. I wonder if the zombies are weak to fire. In the first game, they took a little bonus damage from fire. Yeah, usually that spell does 6 and it did 7. That's not much of a bonus, though. And hopefully we can get Peter in here to kind of clean up. Not sure how much damage he'll do. Slade can just go over and get started on this guy. I think I said this in previous episode. It's sometimes hard to remember at this point what I said in an episode that I have a recording of and what was in one of the ones that fucked up. But I think I said this, but I love playing tactics RPGs. Is really fun, but I'm not sure they're that fun to watch other people play, sadly. Also, gotta say, our new buddy Geralt does really high damage. Very nice. He's contributing. Overall in the series, the town maps are not generally my favorite because I feel like, they're not really set up to be battle maps. They're designed as a town. So they tend to involve a lot of walking around because, like, and little pockets of enemies off in the corner that's like, oh, I gotta go deal with those guys. Not that they're terrible, but they're just a little slower. She can't reach anyone to heal them, so maybe I'll have her use Blast. Oh right, she has to be adjacent for that, okay. Yes. It's nice to use it once in a while. Oh, and it should get her the kill as well. Must be good. Excellent. Excellent. We're making some progress here. Yeah, this is definitely gonna run over. We're like at 30 minutes and we're not even close to done with this battle. And the zombies hit. In the first game that was also the case though. They hit really hard. I don't know whether this will kill him or not. Yeah, it did. But like, I didn't want anyone to get poisoned. We can't wait forever for Peter's turn. Also, I don't know if he would have KO'd the guy. I guess we can just go down the stairs now. These enemies will hopefully get here eventually. Head on, Peter. Kiwi is also falling behind in level a bit. The characters who are slower get their turn less frequently, so they can pretty easily fall behind because, as I've said before, leaving enemies alive at low HP so that someone can get the kill is a little tricky in this game because you don't know when the target character's turn is going to come up, and it's just not a good idea to leave them alive indefinitely because you're going to rack up a lot of damage from those enemies. Like, you've seen how much damage these enemies are doing. They can two-shot some characters. So, you know, it can be a little tougher to catch up with characters. The slow ones, particularly. Probably will have to do some grinding eventually. I think that, the place where we're going to meet Creed, if you remember way earlier on our way to Ribble, there was this one cave that was in the middle of a river, which there was no way to get to. I'm thinking that might be where we're going once we get the raft. Either that or it's like a bonus dungeon or something, but definitely we're going to want to check that out. The first game actually didn't have any vehicles. Like, there was a boat in the plot, but we couldn't control where it went or anything. Like, you just went from battle to battle. There wasn't, like, free roaming maps like this, so this is a bit different. Oh, really? That's bullshit. That kind of double attack, it just, because, like, he was pretty close to full HP, and just he randomly died from a single double attack. Just bad luck. You know, we're at about half an hour, so maybe next time, yeah, Ben's turn comes up, I'll egress us so we can res our buddy, and because we're not that far into the battle. Okay. No, because first I want to make another save. See, if I do it now, I won't forget before the next episode is the thing. And we can save the game, and so in this episode we finally got to meet Volcanon. He was pretty angry and decided to forsake all ground dwellers until we defeat the King of the Devils, Xeon, on our own. So that was a bummer, but on the plus side, the mayor of Polka is going to give us a raft as soon as we clear the town of devils. So next time, we will be fighting the devils and hopefully leveling up some of our new party members that we just got. So look forward to that, and then look forward to seafaring adventures on the raft. Until then, this has been Shining Force 2.